and organized this program. Really grateful to each and every one of you who has kindly assembled here. Thank you very much for kindly being present here. I am grateful that all of you took out your valuable time and you are present here. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Today we'll try to relish a few verses from Sri Rupa Goswami's Padyavali. Before we begin, dear devotees, it is Shishta Parampara, the practice of the previous great acharyas, that we should begin with Mangala Charan, auspicious invocations. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Varshadyadesha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurakvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Karamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande. Hare Ho. So welcome dear devotees once again to the wonderful home of Jai Manohar Prabhu, Sita Sevika Mataji. All of you, thank you very much for kindly being present here. The devotees, please come closer so the other devotees can get a chance to see the screen directly. Unless you see the screen, it will not be possible for you to relish the program in its entirety. So please make sure you are able to see the screen wherever you are situated, dear devotees. Dear devotees, today we are going to try and paint a few paintings from Sri Rupa Goswami's Padyavali. And dear devotees, how many of us would like to draw some paintings based on the previous Acharya's literature? Please raise your hands. Wonderful. Dear devotees, thank you very much. Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami, he says in the literature that he composes, there is a Shishta Parampara, a tradition that the audience should always be glorified. Therefore, Sri Rupa Goswami never misses a chance to glorify his audience. Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami composes a verse specifically for the Vaishnava audience. This verse is composed for all of you. I am showing this verse on the screen. This verse is in the meter Shikharini, same as Jagannath Ashtakam. I'll try to sing. Please repeat after me. Gaviropyashrantam duradhigama paro pintaram. Gaviropyashrantam Aspadamabe Sadam Stoma Premanyudayati Samagre Sthagayitum Sadam Stoma Vikaram Asparam Jalanidhirivendau Prabhavati A meter is Shikharini. So dear devotees, there is a rule in Sanskrit poetics, the name of the meter should fit in the meter. This meter is Shikharini. Sri Rupa Goswami says, dear devotees, I am going to draw the painting of an ocean. I am going to ask many questions. Please reply with a yes or no. The ocean, dear devotees, Gabhiro, isn't the ocean unfathomably deep? Yes or no? Yes. Right. Ashrantam, isn't the ocean restless and turbulent? Yes. Duradigama Paro, isn't it difficult to cross over and reach the other side of the ocean? Yes. Nitaram, yes, definitely. Aharyam Maryadam Dadadapi. Dear devotees, doesn't the ocean maintain fixed boundaries and usually never crosses over its fixed boundaries? Yes. Hare Raspadamapi, isn't the ocean a resting place of Bhagwan Hari? Yes. Hare bolo, yes or no? That's the audience needed. Alright. Sadam Stoma Premanyudayati Samagre Sthagayitum. Dear devotees, usually the ocean maintains fixed boundaries. But when the full moon arises over the ocean is unable to contain itself and it swells over and breaks its boundaries and the waters of the ocean flow over. Isn't it true, dear devotees? Yes. Dear devotees, what we just described was an ocean. Or was it all of your hearts? Dear devotees, now please tell me yes or no. The hearts of the Vaishnavas, Gabhiro, aren't the hearts of the Vaishnavas unfathomably deep? Yes or no? Yes. Ashrantam, aren't the hearts of the Vaishnavas turbulent due to separation from Krishna? Yes. Duradigama Paro, and isn't it difficult to reach the other side of the hearts of the Vaishnavas? Yes. No? Yes. It's easy to understand the heart of a Vaishnava? Aharyam Maryadam. Dear devotees, don't the hearts of the Vaishnavas maintain fixed boundaries of Vaidhi Bhakti? Yes. Hare Raspadamapi. And the heart of a Vaishnava is the place of residence of Bhagavan Sri Krishna? Yes or no? Yes. But dear devotees, when the full moon like Krishna Chandra makes his first appearance in the hearts of the Vaishnavas are unable to maintain their fixed boundaries of Vaidhi Bhakti. Yes. Their emotions swell over, they cry, etc. And these emotions cause them to break their boundaries of Vaidhi Bhakti and they enter into Raganuga Bhakti, dear devotees. Dear devotees, this is the wonderful audience that all of you have been glorified by Sri Rupa Goswami in his literature, dear devotees. Thank you for kindly being a part of this wonderful program. I will begin with a statement by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says something. Krunal Prabhu, you have a good loud voice. Kindly read what Prabhupada says.
Narottam Das Thakur says, Rupa Raghunath, Pade Highway Akuti. Eagerness. When will I try to understand Yugala Prititi, the conjugal love of Radha Krishna through the literature of Rupa Raghunath? To understand Radha Krishna and their love affairs, one has to understand through the literature given by Rupa Goswami.
So Sri Narottam Das Thakur says, please repeat after me. Rupa Raghunatha Pade,
Rupa Raghunatha Pade,
Akuti means attachment. attachment, deep attachment for Pade. What is the meaning of Pada, dear devotees? Lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. When I have deep attachment for the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, then I will be able to understand the conjugal love of Sri Radha and Krishna. Dear devotees, one meaning of Pada is feet. Another meaning of Pada is poetry. Rupa Raghunatha Pade. When I will have attachment for the Pada. What is another meaning of Pada? Poetry. Of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath. Then I will be able to understand what is the love of Sri Radha and Krishna. Dear devotees, therefore, it's very important to understand what is the love of Sri Radha and Krishna through the literature. Prabhupada translates Pada as feet or literature? Literature of Sri Rupa Goswami and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Dear devotees, it's therefore we are trying to follow in the footsteps of Sri Rupa Goswami, because those are the safest shelter for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Dear devotees, it is important from time to time to have some personal feelings of relishment towards Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Otherwise, we will be stuck in the process of neti, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no this, no that, no. If everything is no, then what is yes? So dear devotees, there has to be some positive cultivation for the devotees. This is called as Artha Pravritti. Sri Rupa Goswami says, unless we directly dive into Sri Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna and Lila, unless we directly dive into the direct name, form, qualities and pastimes of Sri Krishna, it is very difficult to attain auspiciousness for a person. Dear devotees, our Bhagavan Shri Krishna appeared in Vrindaban and he stayed in Vrindaban for the first 11 years of his life. For the first 11 years of his life, he stayed in Vrindaban. God knows what happened after that. He decided to leave Vrindaban and go to one place. Which place, dear devotees? Mathura. And when he was on the chariot of Akrura, our Bhagavan spoke the greatest lie that was ever spoken in human history. What was that greatest lie, dear devotees? I'll come back. That is very terrible lie, dear devotees, that was spoken on that particular chariot. Dear devotees, our Bhagavan ended up going to Mathura. And in Mathura, he was thinking that, well, the Vrajavasis will cry for me and then I will hear how much I am being missed by the Vrajavasis. But dear devotees, he was still not happy and left further ahead and went to another place. Which place, dear devotees? Dwaraka. Now Dwaraka, it is impossible even to receive the news of Shri Krishna often. Dear devotees, after Shri Krishna went to Dwaraka, dear devotees, Shri Krishna started feeling some distress in his heart. Because dear devotees, in love, one person has to cry or both people have to cry? Both people have to cry. Dear devotees, so our Bhagavan Shri Krishna also started lamenting in Dwarka, dear devotees. And this is described by Sri Rupa Goswami in his Padyavali. Sri Rupa Goswami describes that amongst all the wonderful facilities in Dwaraka, our Bhagavan Shri Krishna was still crying within his heart. This verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. I'll try to sing it, kindly repeat after me. Tambulam Swamukharda Charvitamita Kome Mukhe Nikshipe. Tambulam Swamukharda Charvitamita Kome Mukhe Nikshipe. Unmarga prasritam cha chatu vachanai ko mam vashe sthapaye. Unmarga prasritam cha chatu vachanai ko mam vashe sthapaye. Ehiti vidur sarita bhuja swange nidayaduna. Shikandakam mama punar vyaduya badnatuka. Shikandakam our Bhagwan is remembering in Dwarka and crying. Please hear carefully. Tambulam. What is the meaning of Tambula, dear devotees? Pan. Dear devotees, our Sri Krishna is thinking, Tambulam. Now who will feed me pan? But there is so much pan available. Where? Dwarka. Nana, not just any pan. Swamukharda Charvita, Mother Yashoda used to take pan, chew half of it and feed the remaining half. Today who will feed that sort of a pan to me? Nobody. The devotees, is anybody available in Dwarka who can feed that sort of a pan?
No.
Ko me mukhe nikshipe. Who will feed me that half chewed pan, because that had a lot of love in it. Unmarga prasritam. And today if I walk on an incorrect path in life, Chatu vachanai. Who will give me sweet words? In my childhood, whenever I would act incorrectly, Mother Yashoda would tell him, Krishna, you should not steal like this, and bring me back on the correct path of life. But today if I act incorrectly, then who will bring me on the correct path of life? Dear devotees, in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said, Yuddhe chapi apalayanam. A Kshatriya should never show his back in war. And when Kali Yavan came in front of Krishna, what did Krishna do? Arey, you all are glorifying him after that, huh? So Krishna's problem is, the devotees, if he acts incorrectly, there is nobody to correct him. On the other hand, people start glorifying him. Ko mam vashasthapaye. Who will bring me back on the correct path of life today? There is nobody. Iti vidur sarita bhuja. Today who will say, Ehi, come here, ao, and make me sit on her lap. Sanke nidhayaduna. After making me sit on the lap. Kelisrasta shikhandakam. My peacock feather which had fallen out due to playing too much. Who will again put it back in place and tie it nicely today? Is there anybody like that today?
No.
Dear devotees, there is nobody like that today. Whose loss is it, dear devotees? Vrajavasi's loss or Krishna's loss? Achha se bolo.
Krishna's loss.
That's a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Dear devotees, it is Krishna's loss. This is the translation. Prabhu, can you read loudly?
Translation. Now who will take half-chewed betel nuts from her own mouth and place them in mine? Now who will subdue me with sweet words when I depart from the path of righteousness? Now who will say, come here, wave her arm, place me on her lap, and retie my peacock feather when it falls due to playing around in Braja?
The devotees, this is the condition of Sri Krishna in Dwarka. Our Sri Krishna is lamenting, dear devotees. Whose loss is greater, Krishna's loss or Vrajavasi's loss? Why, dear devotees? Can anybody tell me why Krishna's loss is greater?
Krishna is away from so many devotees.
All the Vrajavasis have to cry for how many persons?
Only one person.
And Krishna has to cry for how many?
All those.
So dear devotees, whose loss is greater? Krishna's loss is greater. This, dear devotees, was his condition in Dwarka. Our Bhagwan remembers the beautiful time that he used to spend in Sri Vrindaban. Dear devotees, in Dwarka, he is happily married. But as you know, marriage is the end of all love. Hai na? So dear devotees, he is happily married in Dwarka. And being happily married in Dwarka, dear devotees, he still remembers that time he used to experience that informal attitude of the Vrajavasis. And dear devotees, he remembers how once he was in Govardhan, and how there is one particular place in Govardhan called as Dan Ghati. Dan Ghati is a very narrow place. Sri Radha used to come walking down that particular place, and he would hide behind a tree, and suddenly when she would come nearby, he would come and stop her way. Stop for taking something. What would he want, dear devotees? Tax. Chalo, paisa nikalo. Not paisa. Not that tax, dear devotees. He wanted to get the tax of yogurt, milk and other milk products, dear devotees. He remembers once when he tried to stop Sri Radha like this, she defeated him simply by the movement of her eyes. Would you like to hear about what movement of her eyes she did in order to defeat him, dear devotees?
Yes.
So, dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami describes it in his Dan Keli Kaumudi. The verse is in the same meter, Shardula Vikriditam. Can we sing together, dear devotees? Alright, let's try to sing together this time. Antasmeratayojvala jalakana vyakirna pakshankura kinchit patalitanjala rasikato sikta pura kunjati ruddhaya padhimadhavena madhura vyabhugnataro Radhaya kila kinchitastapakini drishti shriyam vagriya. Dear devotees, she was walking down the narrow path known as Dhanagati. Suddenly our Bhagwan Sri Krishna came and said what? Stop. So as soon as he said stop, dear devotees, Sri Radha's eyes developed a very wonderful host of emotions. Please hear carefully, dear devotees. Antasmeratayojvala. Smera means smile. Most people smile through the eyes. She smiled. Most people smile through the face. She smiled through the eyes. This is smiling through the face. Alright, she smiled through the eyes, dear devotees. Antahasmeratayojvala. She smiled through the eyes, dear devotees. Her eyes had a wonderful smile. Jalakana vyakirna pakshmankura. Dear devotees, suddenly there were tears coming from her eyes because of happiness. But she wanted to prevent those tears from coming, therefore she immediately closed her eyes and there were unshed tears on her eyelashes. Kinchit patalitanjala. The corners of her eyes were slightly reddish. Rasikato utsikta. And her eyes were rasikataya utsikta. They were fully drenched in the joys of love. Pura kunchati. These eyes were slightly contracted as if showing some fear. All of this happened. The devotees, did you listen?
Yes.
Hear again carefully. Don't miss a single bit. Sri Rupa Goswami is speaking. Once again. Antahasmeratayojvala. Most people smile through the face. Sri Radha smiled through the eyes. This is smiling through the face. Dear devotees, this is smiling through the eyes. So this is, I have limited expressibility still. Okay. Antahasmeratayojvala. Her eyes were ujvala. She lit up because of inner smile. Jalakana vyakirna. Dear devotees, because of seeing Sri Krishna, suddenly she developed tears of joy. But she did not want to cry in front of Krishna, so she suddenly flapped her eyes. And these unshed tears of love were still there on her eyelashes. Kinjit patalitanjala. The corners of her eyes were slightly reddish. Rasikato utsikta. Dear devotees, her eyes were drenched in rasa. Some people's eyes are very dry. You look at them. It is as if you have to put some ointment in order to make them wet. But dear devotees, her eyes were fully drenched in the rasa of love. Pura kunchati. Slightly contracted and looking at a sidelong glance, dear devotees. All these wonderful emotions happened when? Ruddhaya pathi madhavena. When she was prevented on the path. By whom, dear devotees? Madhava. And one thing, Madhura vyabhugnatarottara. The iris of her eyes developed a wonderful tara. Tara means there was a wonderful sparkling star visible in her eyes. Dear devotees, Radhaya kila kinchitastabakini May this bouquet of wonderful emotions in the eyes of whom? Sri Radha. Drishti Shriyam Vakriyat. May it give all auspiciousness to all of you who are assembled here.
Hari Bol.
This is the translation. Prabhuji, can you read loudly?
On being stopped by Madhav, as she was walking down the path, Radha's eyes developed a bouquet of wonderful emotions. This eye glistened due to her inner smile. The eyelashes got adorned with unshed tears of joy. The corners of eyes got reddish and drenched in joyous emotions. These eyes were slightly contracted and glancing in a sidelong manner. May this glance of Sri Radha, containing the Kila Kinchita bouquet of various emotions, ensure auspiciousness for all of you.
Dear devotees, when Bhagwan saw all these emotions in Sri Radha's eyes, what? Nothing. Why did you stop me? I'm sorry. This, dear devotees, is how our Bhagwan Sri Krishna was defeated by whom? Sri Radha, simply by the movement of her eyes. Dear devotees, after a few days he remembers how he would meet Sri Radha frequently, and then one particular day she told him, can you do something for me? So what will Krishna say, yes or no?
Yes.
Of course I will do something for you. Can you come tonight outside my home and call me out, because I want to speak something to you very secretly. Krishna said, all right, can't you speak it now? No, there are people around here. Can you come tonight in the middle of the night? I want to see how brave you are. Sure, why not? You have to call me out, but your in-laws will be there at home. Yeah, so if they hear my voice, then Nana, you make an indicatory sound. Achha, what indicatory sound? You make the sound of a cuckoo. Cuckoo? Cuckoo doesn't make sound in the middle of the night. No worries, you make a sound, I will come out. Okay? Dear devotees, he said, all right. So that particular night, in the middle of the night, our cuckoo came outside Sri Radha's home. Sri Rupa Goswami describes how Bhagwan sometimes has to experience frustration in his love attempts. Sri Rupa Goswami gives a very wonderful verse in the same meter, Shardula Vikriditam. Can we sing together, dear devotees? Yes. Right? Let's sing together. Sanketi Kritako Kiladinadam Kamsa Visha Kurvato Dvarum Mochana Lola Shankavalaya Kwadam Muhushvenvata Keyam Keyam Viti Pragalbhajarati Vakena Dunatmano Radha Prangana Kona Koli Vitapi Krode Gata Sarvari. In the middle of the night, our cuckoo came outside Sri Radha's home. Usually, no cuckoo makes a sound in the middle of the night, but our cuckoo started making a sound. Dear devotees, how does a cuckoo make a sound? इतना सुनाई नहीं दे, इतने में सुनाई नहीं देगा, dear devotee, हाँ? You to make a loud noise. Please repeat after me. Coo, coo. Dear devotee, this is the sound that is required. So our cuckoo in the middle of the night made a sound. Sanketi krita kokiladinadam, and this sound reached Sri Radha's ears. Now Sri Rupa Goswami is also waiting with a sarcastic pebble to throw at Sri Krishna. Kamsa dvisha kurvato. Are enemy of Kamsa, what has happened to you? Huh? In front of Kamsa you will beat your chest loudly and make a loud noise. What has happened to you in Vrindaban? Huh? Why are you so weak in Vrindaban? Huh? Kamsa dvisha kurvato. Our enemy of Kamsa suddenly made this loud noise, dear devotees. Huh? But that noise was of a cuckoo. Sri Radha heard. Dvaron mochana. In order to open the door, she gradually started moving. And when she was at the door, she opened the door. Lula Shankha Valaya one of the bells of her ankle bells, Kwanam, made a slight noise. Muhu Shrinvata, and somebody heard that noise. The devotees, this was her mother-in-law. Keyam, Keyam iti. Now this sounds very sweet when we are singing it. But Jatila said, Keyam, Keyam. Who is there? This Keyam, Keyam reached the cuckoo outside. Our cuckoo got depressed. This devotee. Keyam, Keyam iti pragalbha jarati. She's old, frustrated lady. Dear devotees, huh? With no other aim in life other than to frustrate other people. Hai na? Vake nadunatmano. Our Bhagwan is depressed at heart. Oh my goodness. What to do? Okay, maybe she will come back in some time. I should wait. Dear devotees, Radha Prangana, in the courtyard of Sri Radha. Kona, in a corner, dark corner. Koli Vitapi, under a thick badri tree. Our Bhagwan kept waiting. Our Bhagwan kept waiting. Our Bhagwan kept waiting. Gata Sharvari, entire night passed, dear devotees. Sri Radha did not come. Dear devotees, does Bhagwan attain success in his love attempts in Vrindavan?
Not always.
In Dwarka it is so easy. Dear devotees, in Dwarka he can't do that. He can't do stop. Rukmini is, what happened, Maharaj? Give tax. What tax, Maharaj? You are taking tax from the entire kingdom. Huh? What happened, Maharaj? So, dear devotees, in Dwarka he is married to those sophisticated queens, and those sophisticated queens have a way of behavior. Dear devotees, each and every one of them wants a separate palace, isn't it? Huh? How many apartments or palaces did Krishna make for the gopis of Vrindavan? For the gopis of Vrindavan, not a single one, dear devotees. Acha, for every queen in Dwarka he made a separate palace. For 16,100 queens he had to make 16,100 palaces. But not a single one for the gopis of Vraj. He remembers, dear devotees, these very informal dealings, and therefore our Bhagwan still hankers for that particular informal mood of Dwarka. This is the translation. Prabhu, can you kindly read?
As he began to imitate a cuckoo's voice in order to indicate Radha to come out and meet him, she heard the call and walked towards the door to open it. The tinkling sounds of her anklet bells was heard by the old lady, who shouted, "Who is there? Who is there?" Hearing these bold words, our enemy of Kamsa became dejected at heart and spent the entire night hiding in the corner under a badri tree in Radha's courtyard.
Dekho, dear devotees, what has happened in Sri Vrindavan. This, dear devotees, is something which the Gaudiya Vaishnavas know. Dear devotees, our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they understand Krishna to be that particular God, who's not simply all perfect, never speaking a lie. How many of us want to fall in love with a Bhagwan who's all perfect, never speaks a lie, never makes any mistakes? Please raise your hand. Nobody. How many want to fall in love with a God who always speaks lies, makes mistakes, falsely cries? Please raise your hands. Oh my goodness, you must be good. You don't want Prabhuji? He's still thinking about it. Dear devotees, those who raise your hands, you are Gaudiya Vaishnavas and you are belonging to the Sampradaya of Sri Rupa Goswami. We therefore know even the weaknesses of Bhagwan that exist within Sri Vrindavan. That is the nature of Bhagwan only inside one particular place. Which place, dear devotees? Vrindavan. Outside Vrindavan, he is hesitant to display all these weaknesses.
What is
Krode. Krode means in a corner. Kona is corner, Krode under the tree. Vitapi Krode under the tree. Gata Sharvari. Dear devotees, that day plan failed. Next day Sri Krishna met her. And Sri Krishna told her, yesterday I came. I was calling out. I don't know what happened, you didn't come. So she said, well, you don't know what happened. I was about to open the door, but my mother-in-law woke up. So Krishna said, I told you it is not a good place to meet. Hana? Let's meet at a Sanket. Sanket means at a designated place which is neither your home nor my home. Okay? So she said, all right, can you do one thing? Yeah. Can you come tomorrow evening to meet me at this particular place? She indicated a place. He said, okay, yes, I will come. The devotees, next day, our Bhagwan was running on Indian Standard Time. So our Bhagwan got late by 2 hours.
Traffic.
Our Bhagwan got late by 2 hours, dear devotees. Sometimes people ask, why is everything in India always so late? Yeah? So I say, evam parampara prapta. This confidential knowledge was received in Guru Parampara. Dear devotees, our Sri Radha, she understood that our Krishna wanted to see her angry. Sometimes Krishna wants to see Sri Radha what? Angry. She understands perfectly when Bhagwan wants to see her angry, and then she got angry on him. This sulkiness, this anger is called as man. What is it technically called as? Man. So then Sri Radha went away to a place which is known as Mohan Mandir. Mohan Mandir is her secret hiding place. Now we Gaudiya Vaishnavas have a habit of adding Sri Radha's name before every name. So nowadays we don't call it Mohan Mandir, we call it which Mandir? Radha Mohan Mandir. So she went to Radha Mohan Mandir, dear devotees, and after going there she closed herself in the door, and only a few of her friends, Lalita, Vishakha and a few other friends were there. Our Bhagwan came 2 hours late. He is looking here and there. Where is she? Are Bapre, I think I have made a mistake today. Huh? He traced the footsteps and it took him to Radha Mohan Mandir. Outside the Radha Mohan Mandir, that enclosed place, he knocked on the door. Please open the door. Dear devotees, no reply came from within. Again he knocked. I'm really sorry. From inside came the loud voice of Lalita Devi. Go away if you still want your benefit. Get out. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan still kept trying and knocking on the door. There was no reply. He sat outside. After some time, the door slightly opened. Our Bhagwan became happy. Yes, this is my chance. Lalita Devi just opened the door so much that she can come out, and then shut the door. And then she said to Krishna, hear this message, and after hearing, quietly return to your home if you want your benefit. Understood? Huh? The message that she spoke was recorded by Sri Rupa Goswami in Padyavali. This message is in front of us, dear devotees. These are the direct words of Sri Rupa Goswami. This verse is in the meter Arya. Arya Durlabhataya Bharya. It is difficult to sing the meter Arya. Arya Durlabhataya Bharya. A chaste person is very difficult to find as a spouse. There are two meanings to the statement, dear devotees. But still, I will try to sing the meter. Kindly repeat after me. Sa sarvathaiva rakta. Sa sarvathaiva rakta. Sa sarvathaiva rakta. Sa sarvathaiva rakta. Ragam gunje vano mukhe vahati. 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 Vachana patostav ragah. Vachana patostav ragah. Vachana patostav ragah. Vachana patostav ragah. Kevalamasya shukasyeva. Kevalamasya shukasyeva. Kevalamasya shukasyeva. Kevalamasya shukasyeva. Now hear carefully, Krishna. Sa sarvathaiva rakta. She, Sri Radha, sarvathaiva rakta, is fully drenched in the color of love. Dear devotees, what is the color of love? Red. Red. She is fully drenched in the reddish color of love. Ragam, her love, her reddish color of love, gunja iva, is like a gunja seed. How many of us have seen gunja seed? How many of us have seen a gunja seed? Those of you who have not seen, we will show today. Gunja seed is red, but it has a black mouth, dear devotees. Ragam Gunja Iva. Her love is like a which seed? Gunja seed. There is love everywhere in her body, but her only problem is due to her shyness, she is not able to speak it from her mouth. That is her problem. That is okay, but Vachana Patos, you word juggler. Tavaragaha. Your love. Kevalam Asye is only on the mouth, nowhere else in the body. Shuka Syeva, just as the beak of a parrot is red only in the mouth, nowhere else in the body. This is the difference between her love and your love. Krishna, your love is like that parrot, yeah? Red only on the mouth, only lip service, and I love you. And if you love her, why are you late by how many hours? 2 hours. And her love is like the gunja seed. She has love everywhere in the body, but due to her shyness, she doesn't speak it. And you are taking advantage of that, isn't that, Krishna? Now you heard Krishna? Chalo, get out. Alright? This, dear devotees, was the message given by Lalita Devi to Sri Krishna. Sri Radha is in the state of man, sulkiness. Our Bhagavan has successfully managed to offend her, and he wanted to see her angry face. Here it is, dear devotees. Please read the translation, Prabhuji.
She, Radha, is completely drenched in the brilliant red color of love, exactly like a gunja seed. O expert word juggler Krishna, her love is not like your love, which remains only on the mouth, exactly like the red color of the parrot's beak.
And now you heard Krishna? Abhi you know what to do. Chalo, get out of here. So our Bhagavan, he put down his head and said, oh my goodness, what have I done? He put his head down and started walking towards his home. Dear devotees, little did he realize that on the very same evening he will end up committing the second most terrible mistake of the day. Do you want to hear about the second biggest mistake that he committed on the day? Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami describes. The meter is Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Radha Mohan Mandiradu Bhagadas Chandravali Muchivan Radhe Shemami Eti Tasya Vachanam Shrutva Chandravali Kamsa Shemamaye Vinmuddaridaye Kamsa Kvadrishtastvaya Radha Kveti Vilachito Natamukha Snero Hari Paduva Radha Mohana Mandiradu Upagatas. Upagatas, when he is returning from one place. Which place is he returning from? Radha. On the way he sees somebody. Chandravali. Dear devotees, he sees the other gopi named what? Chandravali. Uchivan, our Bhagwan ends up saying something to her. Dear devotees, please hear. He says to her, Radhe Kshema Miheti. Oh, Radha, is everything okay with you? Oh. To Chandravali he said, Radhe Kshema Miheti. Oh, Sri Radha, is everything okay with you? Dear devotees, this mistake is so big it deserves a separate name of its own. Sri Rupa Goswami calls it Gotra Skhalanam, when the name itself is wrong. Chandravali looked at him and said, Acha? Tasya vachanam shrutva Chandravali. Chandravali replied back, Kamsa kshema maye. Yes, Maharaj comes, everything is okay. How are you nowadays? Maharaj comes, is everything okay? Aye vimugdaridaye, foolish girl. Kamsa kvadrishtastvaya. Where did you see Kamsa? Radha Kveti. You first tell me where you saw Radha. Oh my goodness. Vilajjito. He became very ashamed. Natamukha. Bowed down his face, dear devotees. Smero. Still smiling. Still smiling after committing two horrible mistakes on the same day. Still smiling. What do you call a person, dear devotees, who keeps smiling after committing two mistakes on the same day?
Shameless.
Dear devotees. Now some are afraid, oh, why, how can we say this to Krishna? Dear devotees, if you are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, you will remember that every morning you go to the temple and call him Lampato. What is the meaning of Lampato? It is Ashlishya Vapadaratam Pinashtumam Adarshanan Marmahatam Karotu Va Yatha Tatha Va Vidadhatu Lampato. Dear devotees, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas don't see Krishna as they are not afraid of Krishna, dear devotees. The relationship with Krishna is very sweet. Those who are afraid of Bhagavan will end up in Vaikuntha, dear devotees, and those who want to have a close relationship with Bhagavan in Goloka Vrindavan, they wish to develop that attitude of familiarity. And that attitude of familiarity is very important with Bhagavan. But that attitude of familiarity has to be in accordance with the literature of the previous acharyas, not by one's own imagination. When the previous acharyas tell us how to become familiar with Krishna, that familiarity does not lead to contempt. So dear devotees, our Bhagavan still keeps smiling, because there is a famous phrase in Sanskrit, Nirlajja Sada Sukhi. A person who is shameless is always happy. Dear devotees, our Bhagavan kept smiling. Sri Rupa Goswami is indicating that even at this point of time, our Bhagavan is still smiling. Hari Patuva. May this smiling Hari protect all of you, dear devotees. This is the translation. Oh, this is an approximate painting, dear devotees. And then this is the translation of the verse. Kindly read, Prabhu.
On a particular day, as Krishna returned from a secret place named Radha Mohan Mandir, he found Chandravali on the pathway. He suddenly said, "Oh Radhe, is everything okay with you?" Chandravali replied back, "Yes, Maharaj comes. How about you?" Surprised by this, Krishna replied, "Where did you see Kamsa?" To this, she replied, "You tell me where you saw Radha." Realizing his mistake, he bent down his head and smiled. May this smiling Hari protect all of you.
Why? How can smiling Hari protect all of us? पहले तो let him protect himself na, from the message. उसके बाद he will protect all of us. Na? How will he protect all of us? When acharyas say, may he protect you, may his arms protect you, may his eyes protect you. So the previous acharyas explain what is the mood of saying these statements. Dear devotees, may this act of Krishna protect all of you in the final moments of your lives when you need it the most. In the final moment of our lives, dear devotees, if any one of these verses comes across our heart and we manage to meditate on any one of the Leelas of Bhagavan in the final moment of our life, that time when we quit our body, in our next life when we open our eyes, we will find ourselves directly in the company of Sri Krishna. This, dear devotees, is the potency of Sri Rupa Goswami's verses. Therefore he says, may it protect all of you at the moment when you need it the most. And which moment will you need it the most? In the moment of death. And that remembrance, that smaran, is the condition of perfection mentioned by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Anta kalecha mam eva japan shrinvan khadan pashyan jigran Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. It is very important to develop the culture of smaran, without which everything at the point of death may end in a failure. Bharat Maharaj's life ended in failure because at the moment of his death, his smaran was on what, dear devotees? Deer. Therefore, it's very important to cultivate proper smaran of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Dear devotees, our Bhagavan came home that night. Oh my goodness. Two people offended on the same day. Who are the two people, dear devotees? Radha. So Chandravali will deal with later. First and foremost. Let's think of pacifying the anger of Sri Radha. Thinking what to do. He came up with a brilliant idea. He went to Nanda Maharaj and said, Baba, I have a small desire. Can you fulfill my desire? Nanda Maharaj said, yes, definitely, Krishna. What do you want? Every morning you invite many people to your morning assembly. Yes. Tomorrow, can you invite Maharaj Vrishabhanu? Sure. With family. Alright, Krishna. That night a Dut, a messenger, was sent, dear devotees, to the house of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, and the message was conveyed. Nanda Maharaj requests the grace of your presence for tomorrow morning's assembly. There will be nice food, there will be nice music. Please come to the morning assembly. Maharaj Vrishabhanu confirmed, yes, I will come definitely, with family I will come. Dear devotees, now we understand what is the nature of this personality in Sri Vrindavan. First and foremost, he will offend Sri Radha. First and foremost, he will offend Sri Radha, and then he will also force her to come to his own home. Dear devotees, this is his nature. Dear devotees, so not only did he offend Sri Radha, he also forced her against her will to come to his own home. Next morning, dear devotees, something is going to happen. Now you have to draw a painting in your mind. Yes?
I was just wondering if ever, what would have happened if the same thing he would have said to Radharani?
What? Oh, this same thing.
Chandravali.
What would have happened, that only she can tell, but there are a variety of possibilities depending on what Sri Krishna wants at that point of time. Because her mood is to satisfy Sri Krishna even when she is angry. I hope you are able to understand. That is the exclusive mood of Sri Radha. That she only wants satisfaction of Sri Krishna even when Sri Krishna wants her to be what? Angry. The next morning, dear devotees, in the morning assembly, now you have to draw a painting in your heart. There's a big morning assembly, Nanda Maharaj's assembly. On one side, Krishna, Nanda Maharaj and family are sitting. On the other side, Maharaj Vrishabhanu, Srimati Radharani, her mother Kirtida Sundari, they are all sitting. Dear devotees, our Krishna is sitting on this side. Our Krishna indicates to her. And she is saying that. I'm looking at him, dear devotees, at this point of time. Our Bhagwan is trying to attract her attention, but she is not paying any attention to him. At this point of time, Sri Rupa Goswami says in Padyavali that our Bhagwan Sri Krishna came up with such a genius plan that you might have never heard about it. Dear devotees, would you like to hear about Krishna's genius plan?
Yes.
Dear devotees, the meter of the verse is Shikharani, same as Jagannath Ashtakam. Since the meter is slightly difficult to sing, I'll sing it first. Please repeat after me. Alright? Shiraschayam Krishna Swayamakrita Radha Charanayo. Shiraschayam Krishna Swayamakrita Radha Charanayo. Bhujavali Chayamiyam Apitariya Pradikrito. Idi krida ko ben vritamu bayora pyanunaya. Idi krida ko ben vritamu bayora pyanunaya. Prasadam jiyastam abhiguru samaksham sthitavato. Prasadam jiyastam abhiguru samaksham sthitavato. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan is waving his hand at her. She is neglecting him. Dear devotees, at this point of time, our Bhagwan does something. Shiras chayam Krishna. Krishna takes the shadow of his head. Swayam Akrita, and voluntarily places that shadow. Ratha Charanayo, at the lotus feet of whom? Oh my goodness, dear devotees. She sees that a shadow is coming towards her feet. Only she notices what this person is up to. Huh? She tries to cower back, but there is wall behind and there is nowhere to escape. The shadow is faster than her. The shadow catches up with her lotus feet, and the shadow of Krishna's head touches the lotus feet of whom? Sri Radha. Now she knows he wants her to become happy again. Huh? So she smiles and looks at him. And then she does something. Bhujavali Chayam. She takes the shadow of both her palms and places it on the shadow of head of Sri Krishna, dear devotees. You are forgiven, but next time be on time. Alright? Iti krida kope. This was playful anger. Rupa Goswami says her anger is not like that, revengeful anger. I will show you who I am, not that sort of an anger. Her love for Sri Krishna is such that she always remains anukul. She always remains favorable to Sri Krishna. Rupa Goswami says, Anunaya, all glories to Anunaya, the act of begging forgiveness. Who begged forgiveness?
Krishna.
Prasadau, and the act of giving forgiveness. Who gave forgiveness? All glories to this act of begging forgiveness and the act of giving forgiveness. Why? Guru Samaksham. Both of them managed to do it in front of their parents, and parents did not even come to know about it. Dear devotees, this is how our Bhagavan placated or removed the man of Sri Radha. So placation of Radha's man, please read the translation.
In order to placate Sri Radha, Krishna voluntarily placed the shadow of his head at her feet. She too put the shadow of both her palms on the shadow of the head of Krishna. In this way, both of them, seated in front of their senior, pacified each other and relieved their sulkiness. May this act of placation by Krishna and loving forgiveness by Sri Radha be victorious in all the worlds.
So dear devotees, I did not have an exact painting for this particular verse. For many years I was looking for an exact painting for this particular verse. Last year in Europe, when I presented this particular verse, there was a devotee sitting in the audience, a Mataji, a Vaishnavi from Slovenia. She heard this particular verse and she was very moved by Sri Rupa Goswami's verse. She promised last year that she will make a painting for this particular verse of Padyavali. This year when I went again, she met me and said, I have made a painting, dear devotees. She made a painting for this. Would you like to see the painting, dear devotees? Yes. So although she is by birth Slovenian, but she learned the Kerala mural style of art and she made a painting specifically for this verse, dear devotees. This is the painting that she made for this verse. Dear devotees, in the society of devotees, there are many people who have a heart for arts, music and poetry. Find those people who have that heart and do not remain heartless. Sahitya Sangita Kala Vihina Sakshat Pashu Puchha Vishanahina. A person who is devoid of three things. What are the three things? Sahitya. What is meaning of Sahitya?
Literature.
Sangeet.
Music.
Kala.
Art.
A person who is devoid of these three, Sakshat Pashu, directly animal. Dear devotees, the Shastras declare such a person is what? Sakshat Pashu. Why did you take human birth? Shastra will say, Puchha Vishanahina, don't remain an animal. Shastra says, develop attachment for one of these three. What are these three? Sahitya, Sangeet, Kala. There are 64 Kala, 64 arts, any one of them. So this wonderful devotee, dear devotees, she drew this particular painting, and then this painting she drew for the pleasure of Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. In this painting you can also see that the sun is shining exactly in the proper place behind Sri Krishna, so that the shadow of Sri Krishna's head is elongated and placed at the lotus feet of whom? Sri Radha. She is also placing the shadow of both her palms on the shadow of the head of Sri Krishna. In this way, both of them are getting rid of their sulkiness or man. This is the wonderful composition of Sri Rupa Goswami and the glory of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. All these verses went through the ears of one personality, Sri Cathenya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard all these verses in Jagannath Puri, dear devotees, and relished all the mellows that Sri Rupa Goswami was presenting to him. So all these verses have been tested by none other than whom? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is a personal selection of verses that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu liked very much, dear devotees.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So if we go chronologically, in the first verse, we heard that she is living at her in-laws' place. And in this verse, she is coming along with her own father and mother. So
Yeah.
how to relate that?
So although she is living at her in-laws' place, because that actual marriage, that actual final shifting of homes takes place not immediately. In that culture, the actual shifting of home takes place only after you are 18 years of age, 17 or 18 years of age. Till that time, she only temporarily visits and then comes back. Temporarily visits and comes back. So this is also found in the residents of Mathura and Vrindavan even today. Sometimes marriage may take place early, but the girl doesn't go to her in-laws' home so frequently. Only after some time, after a certain age, does she finally move to the home. Gauna. Yeah, you know Prabhu. Gauna. It is called Gauna nowadays. Alright, okay. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan remembers also, this sort of man is not existing in Dwarka in any of the queens. On one side, there is Rukmini Devi, who does not understand any man. She is so simple-hearted that she does not ever become angry with Shri Krishna. One time Shri Krishna tried to play a practical joke upon her. Shri Krishna told Rukmini once, Rukmini, are you happy in the marriage? Is everything okay? There is still time. If you want, you can find somebody else. By the time he had said that, she had fainted, dear devotees. He had to manifest 4 arms in Dwarka, 2 to protect her and 2 to caress her head. And then the Srimad Bhagavatam describes this entire pastime. When she woke up, she said, what happened? Krishna said, I was joking with you. Acha, you were joking with me. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Next time I will first tell you. This, dear devotees, is the attitude of Sri Rukmini Devi. She has almost 0 man. And the other hand is Satyabhama Devi. Krishna better not joke with her, dear devotees, because her man is so powerful that he will have to fight Indra and bring Parijat in order to pacify her, dear devotees. So on one side there is Rukmini, on one side there is Satyabhama. Our Maharaj of Dwarka misses that loving man which he used to experience in which place, dear devotees? Sri Vrindavan. So this is the specialty that Sri Krishna always misses in Sri Dwarka. Of course, dear devotees, our Bhagwan also misses that wonderful holy celebrations that used to take place in Sri Vrindavan. Dear devotees, in Vrindavan the holi that takes place is very special. You can see a small sample of that in this particular painting. Dear devotees, these are the celebrations of holi that take place in Vrindavan. And dear devotees, Sri Jiva Goswami says in Gopal Champu that in Vrindavan there is no holi without gali. Correct? There is no holi without what? Gali. And I am not going to quote by my own mind. With the pramanas of the previous acharyas, I am going to quote, dear devotees, in Vrindavan there is no holi without gali. What is the meaning of gali? Acha, loving abusive words. What is gali? Alright, because in the material world, gali degrades you. But in the spiritual world, gali just hurts your ego little bit, dear devotees. Alright? So it is very gentle, it hurts your ego, but there is no holi without gali. Sri Jiva Goswami describes how holi is celebrated in Vraja in his Gopal Champu. This verse is in the meter Vasanta Tilakam, it's from the Gopal Champu of Sri Jiva Goswami. Same meter as Brahma Samhita, I will sing, please repeat after me. Narmang gali rudaka kshipayantra yukte Dandi prapadana nivartana keliriti Kanta kriti vyatikrita grahanam sakhina Sahayakam yudhi babhau hari horikaya Hari horikaya. In the holy celebration in Vrindavan, dear devotees, many things happened. Here very carefully. First is Narmanga Gali. Gali, which is Narma Anga, very important part of a loving relationship, dear devotees. If we truly love some person, dear devotees, true love is often expressed when we have the freedom to give what, dear devotees? Gali. Otherwise, there is formality in relationship. So in Vrindavan, our Bhagwan has the courage to give and receive what, dear devotees? Gali. Narmanga. It is very important part of a loving relationship. Narmanga Galir. And dear devotees, Udakakshipa Yantra Yukti. And then there is water syringe to throw water. Dear devotees, what is it called in Hindi? Pichkari. Jiva Goswami describes as Pichkari. Dandi Prapat, and there is threatening with sticks. If you come here, you'll get it nicely. Huh? Nivartana, and there is protecting oneself from the sticks. Dear devotees, Keli Riti, in this way many sports go on. Kanta Kirti Vyatikrita, there is falling down on the ground and making others fall down on the ground. Grahanam Sakhinam Sahayakam Yudhi, it's as a yuddha. It is a war, dear devotees. Hari Hori Kaya, during which festival, dear devotees? Holy festival. Please read the translation, Prabhu.
During holy celebrations, there was gali, giving loving abusive words, which are a very important part of loving relationship. Besides gali, there was profuse use of water spraying, guns, etc., making others fall down by using sticks, attacks and counter attacks by gopis and Krishna.
Dear devotees, this is the nature of Holi that is celebrated in which place, dear devotees? Now our Bhagavan remembers all of this while he is situated in which place? In Dwarka. Is there possibility of celebrating such a Holi? Dwarka also there is Holi. Alright? And in that Holi, dear devotees, the queens bring color and thoda idhar laga, happy Holi, bas, that is Holi of Dwarka. The sophisticated queens of Dwarka will not celebrate like this, dear devotees, because this is only possible with the unsophisticated cowherds of which place, dear devotees? Sri Radha. Our Bhagwan became the king of Dwarka, but who will take out the cowherd from his heart? The cowherd never left, dear devotees, and it was always present with him even when he was in Dwarka. Dear devotees, our Sri Rupa Goswami mentions how our Bhagwan Sri Krishna used to play many tricks in Sri Vrindaban, especially Dan Lila. Dan means exacting what? Tax. One particular time Sri Rupa Goswami tells us that in Govardhan our Bhagwan again decided to stop the way of Sri Radha and the other gopis. Dear devotees, one fine day he along with many of his friends were waiting for Sri Radha and her friends to come. When they came near, suddenly our Bhagwan again stopped her way. Stop. Dear devotees, you can see here what happened at that particular time. Dear devotees, as soon as our Bhagwan said stop, suddenly Sri Radha said, what happened? What do you want? So to Bhagwan's rescue this time his friend Subal Sakha came. And Subal Sakha came and said something. Subal Sakha said, first and foremost, you see this our toll collector here is Bada Maharaj. Pay your pranam to him before you go ahead. Pay your pranam to this toll collector before you move ahead. So Lalita and Vishakha Devi started laughing. Dear devotees, Vishakha Devi laughed and said, we know very well how much respect worthy your toll collector is. But today we can't pay pranam to him. Why? Because today we have taken a vow. What vow? We have taken a vow of carrying yogurt and fresh butter to the fire sacrifice which is being arranged by Paurnamasi Devi. And Paurnamasi Devi has forbidden us to bow down in front of anyone except a Brahmana. So we can't bow down in front of him. Actually, Krishna wanted Sri Radha and the gopis to bow down in front of him to show his superiority. But they refused to bow down in front of him. Suddenly another Sakha named Arjun Sakha. This Arjun is different from the Bhagavad Gita wala Arjun. There is a Sakha in Vrindavan known as Arjun Sakha. He came and said, our chief toll collector also has taken a vow. So there is no harm in paying obeisances to a person who has taken a vow. You pay obeisances to him, he will pay obeisances to you. Chalega? So first you pay obeisances to him. Later was not going to happen. Second step was not going to happen. First you pay obeisances to him. Then he will pay obeisances to you. Then Lalita Sakhi said something. Dear devotees, this is in front of you. What did Lalita Sakhi say? Please read loudly. What did Lalita Sakhi say? What? Suddenly Krishna jumped in the picture and spoke the name of the vow. Please repeat after me. Krishna spoke the vow. Nityam abalar buddha dvij vasanadanam nama vratam. बोलो नहीं ऐसा नहीं चलेगा Once again I will say, please repeat after me. Krishna jumped in the scene and said, Nityam avalar buddha dvijavasanathanam namavratam. नहीं सर ऐसे तो कृष्णा will laugh on you. अच्छा, no problem. I will make it easy for you.
Sleep over.
Sleep
over हो जाएगा.
The devotees in ISKCON we have word for word. So this dear devotees is what it is. All right. Please read after me. Nityam, Abala, Arbuda, Dvija, Vasana, Danam, Namavratam. Achha, now I will speak the name of every term and the meaning. You just have to read the meanings. All right, dear devotees. ठीक है? Only speak the English meanings. Nityam, Abala, Arbuda, Dvija, Vasana, Danam, Namavratam. This is the name of the vow. So the vow of donating cloth every day to 100 million Brahmanas. Achha? See, nobody is laughing. Dear devotee, this person is very crooked. Very, very crooked. ऐसा नहीं होगा. अच्छा, let's revisit the scene. ठीक है? हाँ? Lalita Devi asked. What did Lalita Devi ask? Suddenly our Bhagwan jumped. नित्यम अबलार बुद्ध द्विज वसन दानम नाम व्रतम. अभी तो बोलो. अरे ऐसे नहीं होगा. अच्छा, once again. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur reveals what Krishna actually wanted to say. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur reveals what Krishna actually wanted to say. So here is the word for word again. Dear devotees, I will speak the word. Please read the English translation. ठीक है? Nityam, Abala, Arbuda, Dvija, teeth are also known as Dvija. Teeth take birth how many times? Twice. Milk teeth and permanent teeth. So one of the names of teeth is also what? Dvija. Vasana, Danam, Namavratam. This is the vow. Read the translation.
The daily vow of kissing 100 million helpless ladies.
अच्छा अब बोलो, why should gali not be given? Some people understand only one language. Which language, dear devotees? That is why. This, dear devotees, is our Bhagwan who was so happy in Vrindaban. He cannot try any of this in Dwarka. If he stops in what happened, Maharaj? Nityam Abalar Buddha Dvija Vasana. What, Maharaj? Should we call some grammarian to interpret your statement? Yeah, people will think Maharaj has gone cuckoo. You know? Dear devotees, this is what people will think in Dwarka. Therefore, our Bhagwan Shri Krishna does not try any of these antics in Dwarka. All of these three tried only in which place, dear devotees? Sri Vrindavan. But he also remembers, dear devotees, that one fine day he decided to leave Sri Vrindavan, and that, dear devotees, was the most difficult day for the Vrajavasis. The Vrajavasis actually, they put themselves in front of the chariot of Akrura and begged Akrura and him to please don't go, do not go, do not go. Dear devotees, but still our Bhagwan on the chariot spoke the greatest lie that was spoken in human history. What was the greatest lie? I will come back. Dear devotees, when he spoke that lie, Sri Radha said something to him which is recorded in the Gopal Champu of Sri Jiva Goswami. Sri Jiva Goswami specifies the message of Srimati Radharani at this point of time. This verse is in a very long meter named Srakdhara. I will try to sing. I will divide every line into two parts. Kindly repeat after me. Gachannesh tvamadya Spurasidahitabokam sagatam vidaya Svikar स्वीकर्तुं राजतां कथमथ भवतादागतिस्ते व्रजाय तस्मादस्माभिरर्थ्यम् तदिदमिह भवांस्तत्र नानाविराज तीर्थे सर्वार्थदेना स्मृतिमनुददतामञ्जलीनां त्रयाणि गच्छन् एष त्वमद्य कृष्ण. Right now you are leaving for which place? Mathura. And you are saying, I will come back. We don't believe you. Spurasi dayita bho. Oh Krishna, in your heart we know there is a desire. What is the desire? Kamsa ghatam vidhaya. You want to kill whom? Kamsa. And Kamsa is the king of Mathura. After you kill Kamsa, who will become the new king? You will be the new king. Swikartum rajatam tat. Now then you will accept the post of a king. And tell me Krishna, katham atha bhavatad, how is it possible? Agatiste vrajaya, that a king will ever return back to become a cowherd. Has it ever happened in the history of mankind that a king has returned back to live the life of a cowherd? Please tell me. No. Therefore Krishna, don't lie. You are lying through your teeth, Krishna, don't lie. But before you go, we want to tell you one thing. Can you please send a gift for us when you go there? What gift? Tasmad asmabhirarthyam. For us, till now we did not ask you for anything. Today we ask you for one gift. If you feel that there was some love between you and us, please send us some gift. Tadidamiha bhavams tatra nana virajat. Go to Mathura. Nana virajat. There are many glorious lakes in Mathura. Go take a dip in those holy lakes. And smriti manu dadatam anjalinam trayanim. Can you send us a gift of 3 palms of water? Dear devotees, there is a hidden meaning behind the poem. 3 palms of water are only received by the dead in the afterlife. 3 palms of water are meant not for the living. 3 palms of water are given as tarpan for those who have left this world, and especially those who died in a state of mind of great ashanti, of great distress. To give shanti to them, to give some peace to them, you offer tarpan in the form of 3 palms of water. Dear Krishna, while we were living, you could not give us anything. At least will you send a gift to us after we are dead? This, dear devotees, was the message that the gopis gave to Sri Krishna when he was leaving.
O Lord of our lives, today you are entertaining thoughts of accomplishing the death of Kamsa and accepting the monarchy of Mathura. How will you return to Vraj ever be possible? It is impossible. Therefore, kindly do one last thing for us. In the various desire-fulfilling holy rivers and lakes around the city of Mathura, please remember us and send us a gift of 3 palms of water.
Dear devotees, the hidden meaning is that 3 palms of water are not received by the living, they are received by the dead. The indication is that after you go, there will be nobody living here. Dear devotees, this painting was created specifically for this verse. Although this never happened in reality, but the vision conveyed by Sri Radha was this, that when you go to Mathura, send us a gift of 3 palms of water. Dear devotees, after Bhagavan Sri Krishna left for Mathura, Sri Radha experiences what is known as viraha. Viraha is deep separation, and separation has 10 stages. They are described by Sri Rupa Goswami, the final stage being Mrityu, almost death. So dear devotees, after some time Sri Radha experienced the state of Mrityu, almost death, dear devotees. And Sri Rupa Goswami speaks of her emotions in the Padyavali. Dear devotees, this verse is in the meter Harini. I will try to sing by dividing every line into 3 parts. But then after I sing the first line by dividing it, then I'll sing it continuously also. Please repeat after me. Dalati hridayam gadhodvegam vidhanatu vidyate dalati hridayam gadhodvegam vidhanatu vidyate vikala kayo murcham namunchati chetanam jwalayati tanum antardaha karoti na bhasmasan prarati vidir marma chedi na krintati jivitam Sri Radha's feeling, dear devotees, dalati hridayam guard udveg of deep anxiety, deep pain is beating my heart into pieces. But only problem, dvidhanatu vidyate, it doesn't break my heart into 2. If it would break my heart into 2, my problem will be permanently solved. But my misfortune is that my heart is not breaking into 2 pieces actually. Vahati vikala kayo murcha, my body is falling unconscious repeatedly. The only problem, namunchati chetanam, it doesn't fall unconscious permanently. Because if it will fall unconscious permanently, my problem will be solved. Jwalayati tanum antardaha, a fire burns within me and is as if burning my limbs from within. The only problem, karoti na bhasmasat, it doesn't actually burn my body fully. Because if it will burn my body fully, my problem will be fully solved. Praharati vidhir marma chedi, it is as if bhagya, fate is harming my soul, beating my soul. Na krintati, but it will not cut my soul into 2 pieces. Because if my soul leaves my body, my problem will be solved. But today my problem is not getting solved. I am neither able to live nor able to die. The reason why I am not able to die is because there is still one statement echoing in my heart. I'll come back. I'll come back. I'll come back. Otherwise, I would have been dead long ago. This is the translation. Please read.
My trembling heart is torn, but will not break into 2. My wretched body is stunned, but will not lose consciousness permanently. A fire burns in my body, but does not turn into ash. Fate wounds my heart, but will not destroy my life.
Dear devotees, Sri Radha and Sri Krishna were separated. Krishna also in deep anxiety, Sri Radha also in deep anxiety. Our Bhagwan has not played the flute ever since he left Vrindavan. Outside of Vrindavan, does Krishna play flute? No. The day he left Vrindavan at the age of how many years? 11 years. Since that day, he has not played the flute. In Vrindavan, he used to have comfort clothing. He would raise his dhoti all the way up to his knees. Not in Dwaraka. In front of the sophisticated queens, you cannot act in this manner. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan terribly missed Sri Vrindavan. But our Bhagwan cannot go to Vrindavan. Why? Because, dear devotees, if the rival kings come to know that he has a weak point in Vrindavan, then the Vrindavan Vasis may be in danger. And the Vrajavasis cannot come to Dwaraka because nobody will entertain villagers in that city. Dear devotees, many years pass. After 4 decades, there is an opportunity for Sri Krishna and the Vrajavasis to come face to face. This is during a solar eclipse. And in that solar eclipse, dear devotees, which takes place at Kurukshetra, all the learned people in the country say that in Kurukshetra, if somebody takes a bath in the holy rivers, then they will attain liberation. So everybody from Dwaraka, on the pretext of taking bath in the holy rivers, comes there. On the same pretext, all the Vrajavasis also come to Kurukshetra. Dear devotees, in Kurukshetra, various tents are erected. Dear devotees, after more than 4 decades in a private tent in Kurukshetra, our Bhagwan comes face to face with the Vrajavasis. And you know, dear devotees, when the Vrajavasis enter the tent, the soldiers, they say, everybody stand in one place. Our Maharaj is going to come. They make them stand like this. Everybody stand in one place. Our Maharaj will come now. Dear devotees, the Vrajavasis are simple villagers. They sit on the floor, dear devotees. And after some time, our Maharaj of Dwaraka enters that particular tent. After more than 4 decades, our Maharaj of Dwarka has his look at the Vrajavasis. Dear devotees, at this particular point of time, our Krishna is looking for one particular personality. Who is he looking for? Dear devotees, Sri Radha is the personality that he is looking for. But he can't publicly call out her name because she is now married and settled in her home. Dear devotees, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, is the name of Nanda and Yashoda mentioned? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is the name of the queens of Krishna, Rukmini, etc. mentioned?
Yes.
Is the name of Krishna's friend Sri Dama, Sudama, Stoka Krishna mentioned?
Yes.
Is the name of any gopi mentioned clearly in the Srimad Bhagavatam? Any gopi? Those who... any gopi mentioned? Why? That relationship doesn't deserve acknowledgement, isn't it? That relationship will never be acknowledged by the society.
It's more intimate.
Good excuse for not bringing out the name. Dear devotees, this relationship will be forgotten. Nobody will remember the gopis of Vrindavan. Nobody will call out their names because nobody will know their names. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, their names are not mentioned at all. Dear devotees, after more than 40 years, our Bhagwan wants to see somebody in the assembly, but he can't publicly call her out. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan first and foremost meets his parents, Nanda and Yashoda. Publicly he meets, he bows down to them, and then on the pretext of telling them, now please go for food, he indicates to everybody, and then he indicates to the gopis to stay back. Dear devotees, everybody leaves, and in that tent, dear devotees, after 40 years, our Bhagwan is alone with the gopis, and at that point of time, his eyes locate that personality which he was searching for all this time. And after 40 years, our Bhagwan and Sri Radha look eye to eye. Dear devotees, at this point of time, dear devotees, our Bhagwan understands. Sri Radha is crying, dear devotees, and there is nothing left to say. There is nothing left to say. Our Bhagwan realizes that she has the same love for him that she had when she saw him for the first time. Dear devotees, our Bhagwan realizes that he doesn't have this type of love. Krishna knows I don't have this type of love. Dear devotees, Krishna knows that in order to experience this love, it will not be possible in that particular life as Krishna. In order to experience this love, our Bhagwan will have to come again. Our Bhagwan has to come again in the age of Kali, because he cannot experience that love in the age of Dwapara. He is Krishna, and the greatest love that somebody had for him is with Sri Radha, and he wants to understand that love. Dear devotees, our Krishna got married to how many princesses? 16,100. These princesses were rescued from a demon. The name of the demon was Narakasur. Before they were captured by Narakasur, it is possible that many of those princesses may have had some love interest in their lives, but they could not marry their love interest because they were captured by Narakasur. By force of circumstances, they had to get married to somebody. Whom they had to get married to? Krishna. But there was one particular queen who had Krishna as her first love in life. She is Rukmini Devi. Who is Rukmini's first love of life? Krishna. But who was Krishna's first love of life? There is the problem. That is the root of the problem, dear devotees. Our Bhagwan never forgot that particular personality who was his first love and the most innocent love that he had experienced back in Sri Vrindaban. And he saw that very same feeling in her eyes after more than 40 years. And then he developed these desires. Sri Radhaya pranaya mahima kidrisho vanayaiva. What is the glory of her love? What is the taste that she experiences on seeing me? But dear devotees, in this life I will not be able to relish Krishna's thought. Therefore Krishna has to take another incarnation. And Krishna appeared as whom? Cathenya Mahaprabhu. Dear devotees, Cathenya Mahaprabhu spent the final years of his life in Jagannath Puri, relishing the same separation. This time Cathenya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but covered with whose mood? Sri Radha. And then, dear devotees, there occurs a particular event known as Ratha Yatra. And in Ratha Yatra, Sri Cathenya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. In whose mood? And on the chariot is Jagannath, Krishna in the mood of Dwarka Krishna. I hope you are able to understand. Yes. So then our Cathenya Mahaprabhu sees Jagannath. And when he sees Jagannath, our Krishna realizes what was the feeling that was experienced by Sri Radha how many years ago? 5,000 years ago in that tent in Kurukshetra. When Cathenya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath have eye-to-eye union, Cathenya Mahaprabhu is unable to find words. Dear devotees, Cathenya Mahaprabhu ends up singing a song which is a mundane song from a mundane literature named Kavya Prakash. In front of all the devotees, Cathenya Mahaprabhu ends up singing a mundane song. In those days, there was no Bollywood, but there were romantic novels. So from one of the romantic novels, in the Kavya Prakash, Cathenya Mahaprabhu ends up singing a song which has no mention of Radha and Krishna in it. It's a mundane song, but it conveyed somewhat the emotions of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, because he could not find proper words at that point of time, dear devotees. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu sings this song. This is mentioned in the Padyavali as well as Chaitanya Charitamrit. The meter is Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Let's sing together. Ya Gaumara Hara Sadeva Hivara Taeva Chaitra Kshapas Techon Miritamarati Surabhaya Praudha Kadamba Nila surata vyapar lila vidhao reva rodasi vedasi tarutale cheta samutkanthate. Dear devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ends up singing a song which is from a mundane literature. All the devotees become surprised. Hear the meaning of the song. Yah kaumar hara, a lady from the material world, she is looking at her husband. She got married to this person and she is remembering after many years. Yah kaumar hara, this person was the first love of my life. Sa eva hi varas, now he is my husband. Ta eva chaitra kshapa, these are the same nights of the spring season, but my mind is not happy. Te chon milita malati, this is the same fragrance of jasmine flowers coming at night, but my mind is not happy. Praudha kadambanila, same winds blowing from kadamba trees. Sachai vasmi, I am the same person, he is the same person. But still, tathapi tatra surata vyapara lila vidhav. I remember the first place I met him. Reva Rodasi, on the banks of the Reva, Narmada river. Vetasi tarutale, under a Vetasi tree. Chitta samutkanthate. My mind hankers to return back to that place where we had the first meeting. So this is a verse spoken in a mundane literature. There is a heroine, and the heroine is remembering how she used to enjoy secretly meeting with him. But now they are married, so all that fun is gone. So this is the verse Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sang. All the devotees got a little confused. What is happening? The devotees, this is the translation. Kindly read.
That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the months of Chaitra. The same fragrance of Malti flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva, under the Vetasi tree. That is my desire.
The devotees could not, because devotees around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are learned people. They know what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing. They could not understand why is he singing this song from Kavya Prakash. No, everybody knows this is from Kavya Prakash. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why are you singing this song? That too in Ratha Yatra. God is unable to find words for expressing his emotions. God is unable to find words for expressing his emotions at that particular point of time. But dear devotees, where God fails, God's own poet Rupa Goswami succeeds. Rupa Goswami understands the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami goes back to his kutir on that day in Jagannath Puri, and he knows that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was reminiscing that mood of Kurukshetra, where the gopis wanted to pull Bhagavan and bring him back to which place? Vrindavan. Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami composes a parallel mirror verse, this time expressing the exact sentiments that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to express. God's own poet succeeded where God himself failed. Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami creates his finest Shikharini, his finest verse in the Shikharini meter. And this, dear devotees, is the verse that Sri Rupa Goswami composes and doesn't tell anybody. He did not even tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he had composed this verse. This verse is in the meter Shikharini. I will sing it. Please repeat after me. Priya soyam Krishna sahachari kurukshetra militas.
Priya soyam Krishna sahachari kurukshetra militas.
Tadaham saradha tadidamu bhayo sangama sukham. Tadapyantah khelan madhuramurali panchamajushe. priyasayati. Priya Soyam Krishna, this is my very dear person. Who is that person? Krishna. Sahachari, dear friend. Sri Radha was saying to her near and dear friend. Next to Sri Radha was Sri Rupa Manjari standing that day, dear devotees. I hope you are able to understand. In Kurukshetra, 5,000 years ago, who was standing next to Sri Radha? Priya Soyam Krishna, this is my very same Krishna. Sahachari, my friend. Kurukshetra Militas, he has met me after more than 4 decades at which place? Tathaham sa Radha, and I am the same Radha. Tadidamu bhayo sangam sukham. It seems we are meeting, but there is no happiness here. He has not played the flute for more than 40 years. Tathapyanta khelan madhura murali. My mind wants to pull him back to that place. Which place? Vrindaban. The banks of the Yamuna. I want to see him play Panchama, the 5th note on his flute. Give him back the flute. Mano me kalindi pulina vipinayas prihayati. My mind is again rushing to the banks of the Yamuna. I want to take him back there. But it is impossible for me to take him back there. This is the translation by Srila Prabhupada.
Sri Radha said, "My dear friend, now I have met my very old and dear friend Krishna on this field of Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani, and now we are meeting together. It is very pleasant, but still I would like to go to the bank of the Yamuna beneath the trees of the forest there. I wish to hear the vibration of his sweet flute playing the 5th note within that forest of Vrindavan."
Dear devotees, our Bhagwan failed in expressing his emotions, but Bhagwan's poet succeeded. Rupa Goswami composed this verse, and he very casually, after composing this verse, he came out of his kutir, his bhajan kutir, and he stuck this verse on the roof of his kutir, in the palm leaf. He stuck it outside his bhajan kutir, and he went for taking a bath. The devotees, when Rupa Goswami went for taking a bath, Sri Cathenya Mahaprabhu came to that kutir, and he found there is some paper hanging outside the roof. He pulled out the paper, and Cathenya Mahaprabhu read, Priya Soyam Krishna Sahachari Kurukshetra Militas Tathaham Saradha Tadidamu Bhayo Sangam Sukham Tadapyanta Khelan Madhura Murali Panchamajushe Mano me kalindi pulina vipinaya spriyati. Rupa, you understood. Only you understood. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lovingly slapped Rupa Goswami and said, "You understood. Only you understood what was in my heart. Only you understood." Sri Chaitanya Manaha Abhishtam. What was dearmost to the mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Not only did he understand, Sthapitam Yena Bhutale, he left behind for all of us on planet Earth. Soyam Rupaha, when will that Rupa Goswami, Kada Mahyam, when? Dadati, when will he give Swapadantikam, the shade of his pada? What is the meaning of pada? When will Sri Rupa Goswami give me Swapada Antikam, the inner meanings of his poetry? This, dear devotees, is the wonderful contribution of Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fully satisfied. He got his verse, but he himself could not compose it. Although he was big grammarian, bada scholar, Nimai Pandit. Nimai Pandit cannot compose this verse. For composing this verse, you will need Rupa Goswami. You will need the heart of Rupa Goswami. So these dear devotees was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and how he fulfilled his desires. Dear devotees, before I conclude, I'd like to offer a verse to Sri Rupa Goswami himself. Okay? Would all of you like to see a verse for Sri Rupa Goswami? So dear devotees, I will now try to show a particular verse for Sri Rupa Goswami, and this particular verse is a newly composed verse, dear devotees, so I hope all of you will accept this particular verse. Let me try to show this particular verse, and this verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam. I will show this verse. Dear devotees, I hope all of you are okay with hearing a newly composed verse. Is it okay?
Yes.
Alright. Dear devotees, this is a freshly composed verse in Sanskrit for glorifying Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. This verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shat Goswami Ashtakam. Dear devotees, let's sing together. Alright? Pakve harshani rupane chatura papani karshatyasau Martyarishtakupamti matti chamuhu Nahapati modam sada Bhaktya pashanikrintanam rachayati Shri tulyasham sanjasa Sa Shri Rupa Kripa Madhya Bhajane Saukhyam Dadatvochasa. Please read the translation. This verse is for praying to Shri Rupa Kripa, the mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami. Please read, Prabhu.
She is extremely adept in bringing out fully ripened manifestations of happiness. She forcibly snatches away all sins. She repeatedly devours the inauspicious series of misfortune for mortals. She always protects our joy. Through devotion, she quickly causes destruction of material bondage. She is as glorious as Sri Radha herself. May that wonderful lady named Sri Rupa Kripa, the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami, vigorously bestow pleasure in all my acts of devotional service. Hari.
It's not so easy, dear devotees. It's not so easy. Dear devotees, this is the verse. Let's plot it on a wheel, dear devotees. Alright? First line, we'll plot from bottom left to top right. Please sing along with me. Pakve harshani rupane chatura Papani karshatyasau. Next line will be plotted from top left to bottom right. Please sing with me. Martyarishtakupamti matti chamuhu Nahapati modam sada. Third line will be plotted from top to bottom. Please read with me. Bhaktya pashanikrintanam rachayati Shri tulyasham sanjasa. It ends at Sa here, and please go clockwise from Sa. Sa Shri Rupa Kripa Madhya Bhajane Saukhyam Dadatvojasa. Dear devotees, it's not so easy. Dear devotees, there is a small prayer hidden within it. I have some selfishness in composing the verse. Dear devotees, the third and the sixth syllables from the circumference of the wheel. You can see here.
Hari Pārśhad
Sa Rupa Kripa Tu. May that mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami protect this most insignificant person, dear devotees. So, dear devotees, This is a small offering to Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who is the foundational cornerstone of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Yadatra Spalitam Kinchit Vidvam Sahapurayantu Tathariva. Yadatra skalitam kinchit. It's possible I might have made a mistake in speaking some things. Vidvamsa, your learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct any mistakes. Yadatra saushavam kinchit. But if there was anything nice in the entire presentation, even a single slide, a single verse, a single line, a single word, or a single syllable, even half a syllable, if it was nice, please remember tat guroreva. It belongs to my Gurujanas. May nahi. It doesn't belong to me. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Right, so I think we have time for one or two queries and then we'll pause for today. Alright, anybody wants to say something or ask something, please. Yes, Mataji.
It was wonderful class today. When I just have no question, but one question I had Prabhuji asked. So today is happening in your classes that when you were saying about Kurukshetra and all this, and I was please Prabhuji bring Jagannath in your story. Please Prabhuji bring Jagannath in your story. And it came. So it's a Rupa. It was wonderful.
Thank you so much. Alright. Yes, Prabhu.
Guruji, you mentioned about Dasha of the, but I think I have heard something, maybe if it is wrong, just correct me, that in spirituals, as like when it is transcendental something, Dasha never takes place.
Mrityu.
Never takes place because of inauspiciousness?
No, because there is no actual dying in the spiritual world. There is no birth and death. But the symptoms of Mrityu are all there.
But material love, the Dasha can take place, right?
In the perverted reflection in the material world, Mrityu can take place.
Probably I have a very small doubt that even Bhagwan was missing his pastimes, the good times. While somewhere we also read, yes, don't attach to the moments and then move on.
Right.
So, I'm now confused.
No need to be confused. Bhagwan is hankering for his own Lila. And what he said in the Gita was for material events. Don't be attached to material things and material events. But you should be most attached to Krishna Lila and reminisce that Lila. If we can have our feelings attached to Krishna Lila, that will be the success of our lives. Because to experience emotions in relationship with Krishna is exactly what is Krishna consciousness. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. A consciousness which is drenched with feelings of Sri Krishna. So that is what we need. So there is no contradiction in this. Okay. Yes, we'll come to Prabhuji, then we'll come to you, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji, you want to say?
Prabhuji, this is an unrelated question. Why we are in this material world? Why we are? Why if God wants us all to be with Him, why we are rotting here?
Why are we in the material world?
Yeah, because there are two contradictions. One is if this Jeev, if we were already with God or we were not.
That question itself is that question itself has a different. It requires a different explanation. Why are we still in the material world? Because Bhagwan never interferes with anybody's independence. Since time immemorial, since Anadi Kal, since beginningless time, the Jivas have been in the material world, those who are conditioned Jivas. And they have not turned towards Bhagwan. And Bhagwan doesn't interfere with their independence, even though he wants them to come. But he never interferes with their independence. So, when we ourselves become inclined to Bhagwan, that is when he will take the first step. He wants us to take the first step towards genuine attachment. Not just lip service, oh I love Krishna. No, not that. Feeling in the heart is most important. So that when it happens, the stage of bhav arises. After bhav comes prema. After prema, there is no more coming back to the material world. That is the answer to your question. He is waiting for the first genuine emotion to arise within the heart of the living entity. And that emotion may arise in this life, may not arise. May arise, may not arise. It cannot be produced by mechanical effort. It cannot be produced by any mechanical effort. It requires a special type of arrangement of Bhakti Devi for that emotion to be generated within the heart. Okay, so yes, Mataji. Yes.
Thank you for enlightening us with your such a divine was like poetry in motion. And I have a question, Prabhuji. If Krishna never left Vrindaban, which Krishna was there? Which went to Dwarka?
If Krishna never left Vrindavan, so Rupa Goswami distinguishes between Prakat Lila and Aprakat Lila. Prakat Lila is that which happened in front of everybody's eyes in Dwapar Yuga. Aprakat Lila is which is going on even right now. In Aprakat Lila, Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. In Prakat Lila, he leaves Vrindavan. So that is the Siddhanta. And that is how it is understood. Okay? In Aprakat Lila, in Golok Vrindavan, he never goes away to Dwarka. Golok Vrindavan, he eternally stays in Vrindavan. But in Prakat Lila, for the sake of relishing pastimes, in order to relish the other side of union, which is separation, in order to relish separation, Bhagavan goes away to Mathura and Dwarka. So that is the resolution of the doubt. Okay? Yes, Prabhu. Last question for the day.
Yes. Prabhu, thank you very much for enlightening us. I have a question regarding the previous two class which you have given at Toronto Temple, Srimad Bhagavatam class. You mentioned that there is a cell phone, right, which is object, and we are so much dependent to the object, which is wrong. But for example, Prabhu has a Tesla car. If he forgot the cell phone, he cannot enter in Tesla car, right? Or I have a something else.
He also has a Tesla car. For the sake of argument.
Right? So, and second thing is that for our mind is so degraded in this Kali Yuga, right? So we need to see the calendar, we need to follow what is going on and what is my appointment. So we are totally dependent on that, right, in that sense. So when we preach to the material people, how we can distinguish this?
Distinguish between what?
We can say that, oh, we should not depend. But in material world, everyone is dependent on the object, but it is in a good sense, not in a bad. So how we can distinguish?
So it is very difficult to say if people are dependent in a good sense or bad sense. If tomorrow the phones were to be taken away, people will still find a way of getting to know the day of the year, month of the year, etc. Before mobile phones, people had paper calendars. People used to note down. So paper calendars have been there since, I think, since human beings have existed. So it's not that these things are very good for us today. There were alternatives present back then and people used to remember. But just because it has been made so easy and these things make a person go dumb down, they dumb down the intelligence of a person. Therefore, today we have very less attention span and therefore today we are not able to focus much on one subject matter. So it's not that these are very helpful. From time to time the devotee should point out how these are also counterproductive to what is a natural life. And a devotee should be able to live even without a particular facility.
Yeah, but Prabhu, let's, for example, if I don't have a internet, if I don't have a YouTube, I could not able to hear your class, right? So in this sense, the technology, we are so dependent to technology and we are using for such good things, right? You are sitting in Toronto temple, I'm sitting at my home. But I'm using this technology in a very means a good way. So when we talk to the people in this age, I'm not talking about 10 years back or 20 years back. I'm talking about at this moment in North America. When we give this kind of statement to the North American people, right? How we can convince them?
See, every material object can be potentially used in the service of Bhagwan. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But Bhagwan's service is not dependent on those material objects. Let's say if you wouldn't have the mobile phone, today you don't need a mobile phone to hear what I am saying. Today you are present directly in front of me and I am present directly in front of you. So material means are sometimes helpful, but becoming dependent on them, that without this I will not be able to progress on the path of bhakti.
Yeah.
That is something to be avoided.
Yes.
Because progress always remains the traditional way.
Yes.
Even if nothing is there, I will be able to progress if Bhagwan's mercy is there. So that is the answer. Right? Everything can be used in seva of Bhagwan, but bhakti is not dependent on anything material ultimately. Okay?